press to establish the Commission for Truth, Reconciliation, and Healing as stipulated in the revitalized peace agreement. The establishment of truth and reconciliation is also demanded by our National Human Rights Commission. The objective of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission is to receive the document complaints and eyewitness reports of the victims of the tragic events in both 2013 and 2016. Personally, it is in my best interest for the people of South Sudan, especially the victims, to know exactly what took place during those two unfortunate events. Having said this, I would like to state that we are aware of and acknowledge the views of those who are who see the establishment of hybrid court for South Sudan as the priority. However, we also strongly believe prioritizing punitive justice will take away from the goal of reconciliation, which is what is needed the most in our country. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the government do not deny, minimize, or shy away from prosecuting those who committed crimes. We have demonstrated this through our actions. We have prosecuted people and imposed considerable prison terms, prison sentences to those who were found guilty, including our own soldiers. I am also mindful that what we have done and the position we have taken on issues related to human rights violations are not shared by some of our partners. At times, this creates a situation where our views are misrepresented in the reports compiled by them. This situation serve the interests of cannot serve the interests of the victims who suffer atrocities. If any, it it politicizes their victimhood, their victimhood. For us as the government, we believe that more can be achieved if we can work collectively with our partners to strengthen the capacity of our institutions. We do not believe that it is helpful for each party to work independently. Providing capacity building and technical assistance locally in areas related to human rights protection, for example, can go a long way in improving the situation. This path can deliver more results than the current reports written independently by our partners and circulated internationally with the sole goal of applying pressure on the government. The government is open to genuine partnership that addresses real challenges, but it equally objects to any attempt to undermine its work by, by those who choose to operate outside established institutions. With all we are going through, real cooperation with our partners is an ideal path for us. For instance, we are faced with prevailing insecurity in certain parts of our country, driven mostly by cattle rustling, intercommunal violence, flooding, food insecurity, issues, food insecurity induced by climate change. These are areas where we can collaborate to achieve desired results for their people. We also need these real partnerships in the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement, which we are committed to implement despite the challenges we are facing. The revitalized peace agreement we are implementing is an ambitious document. This fact is often discounted by those who think it should be implemented overnight. The full implementation of this agreement cannot be done without having a sustained dialogue among the parties. In the process of dialogue, we as parties to the agreement at times hit minor bumps on the road. In light of this, I would like our people to consider the recent SPLM IO political bureau resolution that came out from, from its meeting held on 11th to 14th of March 2022 and other communications they have shared with the public as part of sustained dialogue. I uh, Sustained dialogue I just mentioned. These kinds of conflicting positions are expected in the implementation of a complex agreement like ours to ensure that no one panics from this. I'm assuring you that the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement is on track. We all consider this agreement as the path to our stability, and I'm committed to working with our partners to implement it. For the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement to be genuine, we need transparency on the root causes of the conflict. It is for this reason that I am directing the National Security Service and its partner, the BRL law firm, to declassify all information about the conflict's genesis in their possessions, intercepts, intercepts audios, and personal accounts. This is very important so that the people of South Sudan know the truth and judge for themselves from the position of this acknowledge. From this knowledge, we must say the truth because genuine reconciliation has its basis on it. This will also support the process of healing in our country. Having said that, I need to state clearly that those who may be implicated by the declassified information that is going to be im- to be to be released are guaranteed presidential pardon. So there is no cause for alarm over this. All we are interested in is for the public to know the truth about the background of the conflict in our country. I hope after the release of this information, we can all move forward with permanent peace building that will create harmony and prosperity in our country. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen of the press. We may take one, two, or three questions from the floor. Thank you. Gum Ateng, Administer.
الوضع الامني ما كويس، ده السؤال الموجود في الشارع العام. هل الوضع الامني في جوبا ما كويس؟ هل هناك اتهامات لاي تحركات لمسلحين او متمردين او مندسين او أو للعاصمة جوبا. This is my first question. السؤال الثاني، بعد التصريحات من قبل المتحدث الرسمي للجيش والدفاع جنوب السودان المتحدث الرسمي للمعارضة بأنه ربما جنوب السودان حيكون في حرب شاملة، أنت كرئيس لهذا البلد ما هو ردك؟ السؤال الأخير. لا سؤال اثنين كفاية.
ممكن اثنين كفاية لك.
اثنين كفاية. دقيقة بس. خلي رئيس يجاوب ده بعدين أنا أو كده أنا كويس.
Your first question was the insecurity in Juba. ما في مشكلة بتتأمن في شوارع بتاع جوبا. اللي قاعد يعملوه في جوبا ده normal thing. ممكن يحصل في أي دولة. لأنه في جوبا هنا في ناس مجرمين دخلوا نفسهم في صفوف بتاع المواطن. And these people ممكن يمشي ويضرب طلقة قريب لبيت بتاع، مثلا لو مشى لبيت بتاع رياض مشار وضرب طلقة هناك، نحن بنشوف كأنه ده رياض أو بدأ يهاجم للناس. فلو وجود بتاع الجيش في الشوارع ده ما يعني انه في مشكله بتاع security في جوبا. It is not. As for your second question about تصريحات بتاع متحدث رسمي بتاع الجيش الشعبي، ابدا انا بقول انه ده كلام شخصي، ما حدثوا في SPLM ولا SPDF عشان يديو يمشي يعمل تصريحات زي ده. So this is a personal statement وما ممكن ياخدوه بانه هيكون في رسائل من حكومة يمشي للشكل ده.
Thank you, Your Excellency. You have just acknowledged that you have reached a minor bump on the road to peace implementation. What will you do to address the current political deadlock with your main peace fighter?
Well, there is no obstacle that cannot be solved. Any obstacle on the way, you must resolve it before you proceed forward. So if there is anything, I talked about dialogue before here. So if there is dialogue, all the obstacles can be resolved. ما في حاجة أصعب من إنه human being يمشي ورا المشكلة بتاعه.
Yes, the last question.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your points are very clear.
Welcome, Simon.
From Voice of America and the VOA. My first question is following the declaration by the SPLMIO on its position to pull out from the peace mechanisms to the security. Have you initiated any move to discuss the issue with the first vice president? My last question is, in the center of all this you have talked is related to the security arrangements of the peace agreement. Why is it taking very long for SPLMIG, IO, and SOA to agree on the leadership structure of the security arrangements? Thank you.
Well, your first question, is about the, yes. You know, before we became independent, I was the first